picture you see behind me here is of my mom and little sister Bridget when she graduated college 5 years ago. Now, this was a pretty big achievement because her path to get here was not easy. You see, Bridget was born deaf, and when she was 9 years old, got a cochlear implant. And if you don't know someone who has one of these, they're a device that helps you hear a lot better, but are far, far from perfect. And so, like anyone with a disability, getting through school was a real struggle. It was the kind of struggle that you can't do alone, and she wasn't alone. There with her every step of the way was my mom. In fact, for the 24 years leading up to this moment, my mom was far and away Bridget's main advocate and source of support, really orienting her whole life around helping Bridget succeed. Now, you might look at this picture and think it looks a little bit staged, and that's because it is staged. It actually represents a running joke in my family, that my mom helped Bridget so much get to this place that they really both graduated that day. I look at this picture a lot, and I still can't quite tell who has a tighter grip on that diploma. A few hours after this was taken, my family was gathered in a hotel room, getting ready to go out to dinner, and then something really surprising happened. My mom stood up and asked for everyone's attention in this very formal way, and pulled out this letter and started reading it. It was a gratitude letter, and in it she proceeded to thank Bridget for all the ways Bridget had made her life better. Now, I remember sitting there at the time thinking that this was a bit odd, that really by any objective standard, it was Bridget who had received all the help from my mom over the years, not the reverse. But something inside my mom knew that this was an amazing opportunity to publicly appreciate Bridget's impact. At the end of the letter, there was these awkward moments of silence. I don't think any of us really knew what to do. And then it was like a scene from a movie where we were hugging and laughing and crying. In this brief moment, it was kind of like we were one of those normal functioning families. What happened in that hotel room was a deep and heartfelt expression of gratitude. And this is something that I've been teaching thousands of undergraduates about for the last 8 years. You see, in my courses, we focus on concrete activities that anyone can engage in if they want to have a happier, more fulfilling life. And of all those activities, it's really gratitude that can have the biggest impact. Now, when I'm talking about gratitude, I'm talking about it as a behavior, that it's something you do. And you do it because someone has been intentionally kind to you, and that kindness has value in your eyes. So why is it so impactful? Well, one of the main reasons has to do with the lasting effects of giving gratitude. For example, a number of studies have had people write and deliver gratitude letters to people in their lives who have actively helped them, and then tracked their levels of happiness and depression over time to see how they've changed. The results of these studies are all very similar, that even 1 month after delivering a letter to someone, people feel more happy and less depressed. This is for two main reasons. One is that when you sit down to write a letter to someone, it forces your mind to focus on what's positive in your life. And the other is that when you deliver a letter to someone, it acts as a real social connector. So the more grateful we are to people, the more they like us, and then they treat us better, and then we feel happier. Other research has focused on kind of the flip side of this coin, the effects of receiving gratitude. So in one innovative paper, researchers did 4 different studies, and in each study they had participants complete some type of helping task, like fundraising or editing a cover letter. After the tasks were done, about half the participants received a simple 2 to 3 sentence thank you note for the work, and the other half received nothing. And the results of these studies are again all very similar. that this just small expression of gratitude helped people in that group feel on average 16% higher levels of social self-worth. This is because when we receive gratitude from people in our lives, it makes us feel important and valuable, and when we feel that way, we get a happiness boost. So gratitude is awesome, right? Whether you are giving it or receiving it. And when it comes to giving gratitude, probably the most impactful way to do it is through one of these aforementioned gratitude letters. What you would do here is think of someone in your life that has helped you a great deal, but you've never properly thanked. You would sit down and then list out all the ways they've made your life better, with the goal here of being as specific as possible. So for example, writing something like, "Thanks for being a great dad," is not going to have nearly the impact as writing something like, "Dad, the way you tirelessly work to support our family gave me the resources necessary to follow my career dreams, and also taught me what it means to have a strong work ethic." One of those is kind of and one of those will start bringing tears to your eyes, right? After you finish the letter, you would meet with this person face to face and read it aloud, so you could experience the rich personal connection that often comes with voicing gratitude. Okay, so perfect world here. We are all writing a bunch of letters to people who have helped us. We're receiving a bunch of letters to people we have helped. And voila, we're all going to be much, much happier, right? Well, not exactly. You might have noticed that every time I've talked about gratitude, I've talked about helping others as being a fundamental component. And this is obvious, right? You thank people who help you. These go hand in hand. But this is a major problem, especially when it comes to receiving gratitude. So we know receiving gratitude feels awesome, but we also know that in order to be a helpful person, we need to be in a happy, positive, optimistic place ourselves. Probably an easier way to think about this is to flip it around. So try to imagine a time in your life where you've been really down or depressed. Let me give you a personal example here. The picture I'm going to show you is when I was 14 years old. It's okay, you can laugh. It was a dark time. What this picture symbolizes is what I was feeling at the time, which is down, depressed, lonely, struggling, just sad, right? Just sad. But what this picture doesn't show you is the impact of me being in this place on others around me. Specifically, the amount of help I was providing others was 0. I'm pretty sure I was spending most of my time alone in my room writing really bad, dark poems. I have this recurring fear that my mom will find these one day and show them to the world. It's just one of my nightmares. So when we are in low places like this, our energy as a whole is low. And the energy we do have is used to keep ourselves afloat. Our ability to help others is diminished. And as a consequence, we don't have a lot of people writing us these happy-producing, flowing gratitude letters. But what if we decided to change the way we think about gratitude? So instead of only thinking about people in our lives who are actively helping us, what if we decided to give gratitude to the many people in our lives who are having positive impacts on us, even if they're not planning to? What if we decided to give gratitude to the very people in our lives who need it the most, those who are at their lowest points? Now, they're probably not the most helpful to us right now, but they are the exact people that need us telling them, You are important. You are making a difference. You matter. That night, my mom thanked Bridget for a lot of things, and one in particular stood out to me, and so I want to read you this part of the letter right now. This is what my mom said to Bridget. Bridget, because you're in my life, I have a strong sense of empathy for others. Seeing the world through other people's eyes, being able to walk in their shoes, is a trait that is always difficult to achieve. For the past 24 years, I have hoped and prayed for others to see and hear the world through your eyes and ears. I know with certainty that my desire for others to have empathy for you has been instrumental in creating my own empathy for others. What a difference you have made in my life. What a positive effect you have had. And what a joy it has been hearing you describe your empathy for friends when they have struggled, suffered, or failed. Thank you for giving me the gift of being empathic to others. I have to be honest, I've read this letter a lot preparing for this talk, and every time I do, it's hard because I really get choked up about it. You know, it's just imagining someone telling you that, right? So my mom thanked Bridget that night for helping her learn to develop this skill of empathy. And it's ironic, right, that it was this very sense of empathy that pushed my mom to write the letter in the first place. Having a true and deep understanding of Bridget's struggle and knowing that this was a perfect opportunity to express appreciation of Bridget, not just for what she's contributed, but also what she had been through to get to this place. Look, I think we should be writing letters all the time to people in our lives who are actively helping us. And I can promise you that if you do this, you will be happier. But I want to challenge you to not just stop there. Because in my mind, there is no better way of showcasing our empathy for others than to tell those in our lives who are at their lowest points, often those who are really not helpful right now, the exact ways they have made our lives better. And so this goes back to my challenge. I challenge you to take some time this week and think about someone in your life who's really struggling. Your mom, your brother, your roommate, your friend, your coworker, your partner, your daughter. Take some time and write them a gratitude letter. And then go and meet with them and read it aloud. I promise you that if you do this, you will witness the amazing, the awesome power of gratitude. The power to, yes, change your life, but more importantly, the power to change the life of someone who needs it the most. Thank you.